In Jeremiah chapter 49 we read, "This is Yehweh's word, which was made to be to the prophet Jeremiah in the beginning of the reign of Zedekiah, king of Judah, upon or concerning Elam." An interesting side note in this is Zedekiah began to reign right after Nebuchadnezzar besieged Jerusalem and gave him his rule there. He ruled there for 11 years. Nebuchadnezzar gave him the name Zedekiah when he set him up as king. Before that, his name was Mattaniah. Mattaniah means Yehweh's gift. Yehweh gave Jerusalem over to Nebuchadnezzar. Zedekiah means Yehweh is right, or Yehweh is righteous. Zedekiah was not righteous. He did that which was evil in Yehweh's sight. Yehweh's judgment on Jerusalem at that time when he empowered Nebuchadnezzar to overtake them is what was right. He gave them into Nebuchadnezzar's hand because they did not do that which was right before his face. His judgment on them was his righteousness. The same righteous judgment is about to be unleashed upon those of you who continue in your rebellion to him, who do not do that which is right before his face. Verse 35, "Thus saith Yehweh of hosts, Behold, I will break the bow of Elam in the beginning of my might, and the four winds, or the four spirits, from the four corners of heaven will come upon Elam, and these winds will scatter all of them, and there will be no nation that the outcast of Elam will not come. Elam will be dismayed before the face of their enemies, and that will seek their life, and adversity will come upon them in my fierce anger, saith Yehweh, and I will send the sword after them until I have made an end of them." It might be a good thing for you to know who he is referring to as being Elam in the end time prophecies. You might want to know so that you can make sure that you are not one of them. Most people think that Elam is referring to Iran because of their physical location, but it is not. I spoke who it is referring to prophetically in the recent A Message to Pharaoh video. I will expand on who they are again today. He goes on to say in verse 38, "And I will set my throne in Elam, and I will destroy from there their kings and their captains, saith Yehweh. And it will be in the last days that I will turn back the captivity of Elam, says Yehweh." Elam is referring prophetically to those of you who think that your sins are hidden. You either think in your heart that Yehweh does not see them, or you think that he has forgiven them without meeting his requirements that would cause him to forgive them. You give yourselves forgiveness for your transgressing against him by choosing to believe in soft cushions instead of believing him, instead of believing his word. He is getting ready to either humble you into turning back to him, or he will purge you from before his face if you do not. Either way, he will break the bow of Elam and make an end of that which thinks it is hidden. In the last video entitled Slow to Anger, I spoke about Haggai chapter 1 prophecy and the coming drought. In other videos, I have shared with you how Yehweh is weaving in the 377 days of the account of the flood into his end-time timeline. He has been doing so in a remarkable way. His doing so is one of the tiers to Yeshua's prophecy that it will be as it was in the days of Noah at the time of the end. Yehweh said that he remembered Noah 157 days after he told him to start loading the ark on the 10th day of the second month. 157 days before January 20th will be August 16th. August 16th will be the first day of the 6th month on Yehweh's restored calendar. Haggai's prophecy concerning Zerubbabel and the drought began on the first day of the 6th month. Here is a potential match to the 5 months of torment prophecy that was recorded in Revelation chapter 9. The first day of the first month on Yehweh's restored calendar will be in a few weeks on March 19th. It was on this day where Yehweh's word says in Genesis 8:13, "And it came to pass in the 601st year, in the first month, in the first day of the month, the waters were dried up from off the earth. And Noah removed the covering of the ark and looked, and behold, the face of the ground was dry." The Hebrew word that is translated as dry in this verse is nearly the same word that is translated as drought in the Haggai 1 prophecy. And it is the same word that is translated as wasted in Haggai 1 verse 4 and 1 verse 9. Both are from the Hebrew word that means sword. Can't see the parallels there. I don't know what to tell you, since it says his word is a sword. March 19th will be exactly 5 months before August 16th. I am not saying that this will be the actual manifestation of the 5 months of torment prophecy that is recorded in Revelation 9. There are other 5-month matches that have still yet to unfold in his timeline as well. That could be this period. He has not shown me when the actual manifestation of this 5 months will be. Last year, his timeline included the spiritual manifestation of this 5-month period that tied in the red horse of the apocalypse prophecy found in Zechariah in with his end-time timeline. His doing so testified to not only why he is sending the 5 months of torment, it also testified to whom he is going to send it upon. Another 150-day period that is yet to come is the 5 months between the anniversary of the beginning of the flood on the 17th day of the 2nd month and the anniversary of Yehweh remembering Noah on the 17th day of the 7th month. The anniversary of the beginning of the flood will be on May 4th this year. Actually, according to the way that Yehweh reckons the days, the time that he closed the ark's door will fall in the pre-dawn hours of May 5th, the way that Satan taught his subjects to reckon time. The anniversary of Yehweh remembering Noah will be on October 1st, and actually in the pre-dawn hours of October 2nd on Satan's calendar. There is another interesting date that falls within this particular 150-day period. 3 days after it begins is the 20th day of the 2nd month. This is the anniversary of Israel departing from Sinai to head into the wilderness to be tested and proved. A third 150-day match that is yet to come is simply the 150 days that would begin on the first day of the 6th month that will fall on August 16th. This 150-day period would end on January 13th, 7 days prior to the 20th. Could the prophecy for the last great and fearful day of Yehweh's wrath be symbolic of 1 week or 7 days instead of 1 day? This is certainly a possibility that fits into his timeline. In any case, it really does not matter when this 150-day will begin. What matters is there are serious plagues and pestilences that are heading your way. And this time of trouble is heading your way. So Yehweh is suggesting that you turn from your rebellion to him before he makes an end of you in his hot indignation. And these plagues and pestilences will include great drought with fervent heat and much famine. His word says so. He is going to break the bow of Elam one way or another. If you think that your transgressions to him are hidden, or that they are covered with his son's blood without your meeting his requirement for his blood to be applied on your behalf, you are about ready to have your bow broken. Turn from your rebellion to him and let him turn the water into his son's blood, and he will deliver you. Thus saith Yehweh Elohim,